Welcome to Conversations with Plastics News. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Bill Wood. I'm the economics editor for Plastics News magazine, and I am delighted to be joined today by Mr. Wim De Vos, CEO of the Society of Plastics Engineers, also known as the SPE. Thank you, Wim, for joining us.
Good morning, Bill. My pleasure to be here.
Very good. I know you have a lot of stuff going on at the show this year, so let's jump right into the questions. I want you to tell me about what's new and important with your organization, the SPE, and why should somebody new to the industry get involved?
Well, there's a lot of change going on at SPE actually in the last year, and going forward there will be even more change. The SPE is at this show introducing a new product which is called the Chain. And the Chain is basically an online community platform to enhance the technical discussions on the internet. And I started to say that because SPE is all about knowledge and networking. And if you look to what an association was doing, let's say 30 years ago, I mean, there was no internet, and you had to be a member of a society to get the newest technology information.
Right.
The internet changed the world in many aspects, but also for societies like ours. Today, there's a lot of information, a lot of knowledge on the internet, and there's a lot of networking going on the internet. So to remain relevant for SPE, it was really important that we secured our space in the digital internet arena. So the Chain is actually something where you will find high quality knowledge, because you know we had a very group LinkedIn with about 40,000 LinkedIn members for SPE, but there's a lot of other stuff going on LinkedIn. There's a lot of promotion activity, there's a lot of commercial, and in the end people get disinterested because they get too many emails and so on. What we try to do with our Chain product is it's moderated, which means it's only suited for technology discussions. You want to know something about new materials, new technology, new processes, new machinery. You have a problem, a technological problem in your process. You just ask the question on the Chain and you will get multiple answers. We launched it officially here at NPE. We were in a kind of beta testing in the last 3 months, and we've got so positive feedback from the users. Someone had a problem in his process for years, and he posted the question on the Chain. He got the same day 7 answers posted on the Chain. He got 3 emails and 2 phone calls. And the guy said, this is wonderful. I mean, it's a problem I had for many years, and it has been solved just by doing this. And so we hope going forward that we will have 20, 30, 40,000 people, because it's open to the whole public around the world, discussing about the newest technologies and technical technology relevant issues in our plastics industry.
Wow, yeah, that's terrific. All right. Now, I personally have known about your organization, been involved with the industry about 30 years, but all this starts to sound to me like it's next generation stuff.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I mean, we're doing more and more things in the digital arena. There's not only the Chain, we're starting to have more and more apps. Of course, there's an app for the Chain, but our magazine, Plastics Engineering, has an app. We have a conference events app where you can find, and it's free of charge, where you can find all the papers and all the presentations that have been given at SPE's 40 conferences around the world. So all the schedules are on there, the contact details of the speakers. So it's a great resource, yeah. And we're moving forward with apps, because we also need to fill the education space. SPE formerly also filled a lot. So we're developing now apps which will focus more on education, or for instance on problem solvings. You have an issue in your factory, I mean, you can use our app and see if the answer is not in the app of problem solving tips that we are giving.
Is this getting young people to join, or is it the sort of
yes,
the
it is,
new guys?
and the thing which is linked with the Chain also, and which is also actually opening now for SPE, is that we are adding a new membership grade, which is an e-member. And the e-member will have free access to certain SPE benefits. And this is also done for the young people, because we have seen, and just to give you an example, everybody uses apps. But if you ask to a big crowd, when was the last time that you paid for an app? I mean, only a handful of hands go in the air. People like to get things for free, or at least they want to see what it's about before they take the next step. So with opening SPE and having them an e-membership, I mean, we're sure a lot of young people will be starting to have a look and say, okay, I register as an e-member,
yeah.
I see certain things,
Okay.
Of course, our premium members will still have much more benefits, but we hope by opening the doors, digitally wise then, and people coming in, they will see much more what SPE is about and all the advantages and resources they have access to.
Great. The major themes of this show is technology and innovation.
Yes.
What are some things that get you excited about the future of the plastics industry?
Well, there are so many exciting things in the plastics industry, and I was just reading an article a couple of months ago which was looking at how fast the innovation and the novelties are coming up to us. And this article, they made a study and they found out that the number of new products that have been introduced in the whole last century, I mean in the 20th century, is equal to the last 10 years. So it means that innovation and introduction of new products is really exponentially moving forward. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of new things coming in the next couple of years, and you can see it here at the show. There are a lot of companies, whether it's materials, machinery, that are showing us some very nice innovations, some big steps forward. And maybe to mention one is everything which is happening in 3D printing and additive manufacturing. You know, there has been a lot of talks whether this is going to really be a game changer for the manufacturing, for the plastics industry, but maybe for the whole manufacturing industry. It goes along with the wish of personalization of products. Of course, there are many steps to do in additive manufacturing and 3D printing. The process cycle time is still high. But if you see in the South Hall, there is a complete section of the NPE dedicated to 3D printing. There's a lot on education. So for me, this is for sure one of the highlights. And I would like to combine it with the, let's say, the maybe official market introduction that Arberg is doing with their freeformer. And I mentioned that because for me, it is also a game changer, the introduction of this product for the 3D printing industry. Economically wise. Why? Because if you look at 3D printing, the 3D printing so far was almost a copy of the normal printer business model. It means you can buy a printer for a cheap price, but then you have to buy the ink cartridge at a very high price. And the 3D printing market so far has been a little bit like that. I mean, first of all, you had to pay already a lot of money for the 3D printing machine, but these companies have been in control of the raw materials. So the raw materials to do 3D printing so far have been very, very expensive, which of course is some kind of a pushback to have the technology expand. What Arberg is doing with their freeformer, they are simply using polyethylene, polypropylene, polyamide, ABS that you find on the market. So there's no big markup anymore on the materials. And I think this will open the market in the future for 3D printing and additive manufacturing, and we're going to see an increasing development in this arena. So for me, this is for sure one of the highlights.
Terrific, terrific. All right, one last question. You get to a lot of shows, you travel the world. What do you think of NPE 2015? How does it stack up with some of the other places you've been?
Well, for me, I mean, I'm from Europe, but I work in the States, and it's my main play field, if you can say. This is a great event. I think it's one of the best NPEs that I have seen. There's also a very positive atmosphere. Business is going good in the United States, and as you say, I mean, there's a lot of innovation. Maybe one of the things that, again, where SPE can play a role is that a lot of companies seem to look for new people. I mean, there are not enough new young engineers to make sure that our companies here in the United States will make sure that the innovation goes on. Because, you know, the baby boom generation, which is, let's say, the old plastics boy club, is about to retire, and it's very important that we will be able, especially since the economy in the US and the plastics industry in particular is doing very well, that we will be able to fill these spaces for the future. And this is also something where SPE going forward is again paying a lot of attention to. We're gearing up our educational programs. We're reaching out much more with our new managing director, Russell Broom, which is going out to the universities and trying to connect the academia, the students, and the industry, because there's a lack. I mean, just to give you an example, we do have about 2,000 student members, but we lose 98% when they go into the industry. So we are trying
Wow.
to bridge that gap, because even these students who are studying mechanical engineering and so on, it's not sure they end up in the plastics industry. So what we're now trying to do is, from the plastics associations, from SPE, is to build a bridge to the universities to make sure that the students cross the bridge and end up in the plastics industry where we need them.
Wow. So you're telling me we've got great materials, great machinery, but people make the thing go.
People make the difference, as always.
And
as
that's the
everywhere.
SPE.
And we are there to enhance and support it.
Very good. Thank you. Wim, it's been a pleasure.
It's
Enjoy
a
it
pleasure
very
for me,
much.
Bill. Thank you very much.